Welcome. I will be presenting our study that explores the effects of chatbot-based social contact on reducing mental illness stigma. This research was supported by NUS and NTT. As we all know, mental illness stigma is a significant barrier to seeking help and receiving treatment. Chatbots have been designed to provide interventions in mental health care. However, how chatbot-based social contact can mitigate social stigma in mental illness remains underexplored. Our study discovered that varying chatbot roles can reduce mental illness stigma, raise awareness of biased thoughts, and promote self-disclosure. We also gained insights into how different chatbot designs shape user relationships and influence perceptions and attitudes. Importantly, first-person chatbots successfully foster social contact and decrease stigmatizing views. Before we dive into the study design and results, let's take a closer look at some previous research on this topic. Social contact theory is one of the promising strategies for reducing stigma and discrimination. It suggests direct personal contact between members of the general public and members of a stigmatized group. Previous studies have shown that social contact can reduce mental illness stigma. Chatbots have also been used as a tool for delivering interventions in mental health care. However, few studies have explored the potential of chatbot-based social contact for reducing mental illness stigma. Our study builds upon previous research by exploring the effectiveness of chatbot-based social contact for reducing personal responsibility beliefs and increasing intentions to help. Our research offers a fresh outlook on designing human-AI interactions for positive social impact and explores design and ethical considerations for future work aiming to change stigmatizing attitudes. Let's take a look at our study design. Our study is a three-condition, between subjects, and randomized experiment, comparing two chatbot conditions with a non-chatbot condition, with attribution and social distance as the primary measurements. Participants were presented with a vignette about a person living with mental illness and asked questions about their opinions and experiences. Our study involved two chatbots that delivered either first-person or third-person narratives about mental illness to participants. The first-person chatbot played the role of someone experiencing mental illness and told their own stories from a first-person perspective. The third-person chatbot acted as a mediator and introduced the same stories to the participants from a third-person perspective. The table presents both the first-person and third-person versions of a vignette, which is a context of work where a person experiences lack of energy and slowed thinking and body movements. This vignette represents some of the symptoms of depression, which can negatively impact people at work. You can find the full vignette content for all three groups and sample dialogue flows in our supplemental materials. Our study used a mixed methods approach, including pre- and post-surveys, interviews, and open-ended responses, to evaluate the effectiveness of the chatbots in reducing mental illness stigma. We compare our two chatbots with a survey-based approach. By comparing chatbots that disclose vignettes about mental illness from both a first-person and third-person perspective, we expect to learn how each of these approaches shapes relationships between chatbots and humans, before proceeding to an investigation of the extent to which both designs may lead to stigma reduction. To answer the first research question, we assess the extent to which participants engage in self-disclosure, and participants' impressions and perceived relationship with the character whose experiences with mental illness are described in the vignettes. Answering this question will help us understand the extent of each design's effects on different types of relationships between chatbots and humans. Through answering the second research question, we hope to discern how reading multiple stories told by verses about a person living with mental illness via interacting with chatbots could change stigmatizing attitudes toward mental illness. We will triangulate such understating by operationalizing stigma using attribution theory, social distance, and follow-up interviews. Now let's take a closer look at the quantitative results. Participants in both chatbot groups decreased their beliefs that individuals are personally responsible for their mental illnesses. This is an important finding because it suggests that exposure to personal narratives can reduce stigma by challenging beliefs about personal responsibility for mental illness. Participants in both chatbot groups also increased their intentions to help. This is another positive outcome because it suggests that exposure to personal narratives can increase empathy and willingness to help those with mental illnesses. Interestingly, the first-person chatbot was more effective than the third-person chatbot in reducing discriminatory behavioral responses. The mixed methods approach used in this study allowed us to triangulate our findings across different data sources. The quantitative results were supported by qualitative data, which suggests that the chatbots were effective in reducing mental illness stigma. Participants found first-person narratives to be particularly impactful. Exposure to personal narratives challenged stereotypes and increased empathy toward those with mental illnesses. They appreciated hearing personal stories from those with lived experiences of mental illness. Some participants expressed empathy towards those with mental illnesses and reported feeling more understanding and accepting of them after interacting with the chatbots. Many participants reported feeling more comfortable discussing mental health after interacting with the chatbots. They felt that they had gained knowledge about mental health issues. Our study supports the effectiveness of facilitating positive social contact between people with mental illness and the general population as an anti-stigma intervention. The first-person chatbot fostered social contact and self-disclosure, contributing to reduced stigmatizing thoughts. In contrast, third-person chatbot users expressed sympathy but questioned the character's responsibility, and web survey group participants were more likely to blame the character. Our research highlights the importance of the chatbot's role in storytelling and interaction styles for attitude change. Further research is needed to explore the impact of chatbots on attribution processes and to develop theory-based chatbot designs for reducing social stigma. Our study also found that experiencing vignettes through different delivery methods improved participants' awareness and understanding of people with mental health. However, exposure alone might not be sufficient to foster positive reflection. Some participants, particularly in the web survey and third-person chatbot groups, interpreted the vignettes negatively, blaming the character or finding interactions challenging. This could indicate that unconscious bias towards mental illness affected their interpretations. Finally, chatbots discussing sensitive issues like mental illness can potentially lead to backfire effects, causing users to develop inaccurate perspectives that exacerbate stigma. To mitigate this risk, chatbots should present both positive and negative aspects of recovery stories, emphasizing that mental illness is manageable. Careful consideration should be given in introducing such interventions to users with personal histories of mental illness. So what are the implications of these findings? By simulating a sense of social contact and encouraging self-disclosure, chatbots can help users reflect on their biases and challenge their negative perceptions about people with mental health issues. This suggests that chatbots can play a significant role in anti-stigma campaigns and training programs. First-person chatbots that present themselves as the character in the story can create a more empathetic experience for the user. By simulating social contact, these chatbots can help users overcome their stigmatizing beliefs more effectively. Chatbots offer an innovative way to deliver information and promote attitude change in a conversational manner. They not only have the potential to enhance traditional information campaigns by delivering relevant stories through conversational interfaces but also provide opportunities to develop new, scalable intervention methods for reducing social stigma. The impact of chatbots' roles on user attitudes can inform future research on the effects of interaction styles and help create more effective strategies for combating stigma across various social contexts. As we conclude today's presentation, I'd like to emphasize the potential of chatbots as powerful tools in combating stigmatizing attitudes and promoting positive social change. Our findings have highlighted the importance of thoughtful design and ethical considerations in shaping human-AI interactions. As we move forward, let's continue to explore innovative ways to harness the power of chatbots and other AI technologies in fostering empathy and inclusivity across diverse populations.